Now last week I talked about the new tracks in the Mario Kart DLC, and a lot of you seemed to like that video. And to be honest, it was a lot of fun to make. So this week I am back once again to talk about the track seen in the second DLC cup that's out now, known as the Lucky Cat Cup. And you and I are going to compare them to the original versions that were made a long time ago. Well, in some cases. And believe me, most of these maps changed a lot as well, which is only logical because one of these is so old that it was originally seen on the Game Boy Advance. And I bet some of you have never even held that console in your hands. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Now we are starting off with Tokyo Blur, a track from the Mario Kart Tour mobile game, and this one is nowhere near as confusing as the other city map we saw in the previous cup. That one was truly all over the place. But if you want to know more about that, you should watch the other video first. Now in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the map works in a very interesting way that we have never seen in the series before, until they started adding these Mario Kart Tour maps, of course. Each lap of Tokyo Blur is based on one of the different variations of the course from Mario Kart Tour. The first lap is based on Tokyo Blur, the second lap is based on Tokyo Blur 2, and the third lap is based on Tokyo Blur 3, with each one visiting the respective landmarks of those stages. So we basically get to experience everything one by one. Now this isn't as confusing as what we saw on Paris Promenade. Aside from that, this one still has its hazards like thwomps, while the one in Paris didn't have them. Now those are the biggest changes in this map. Overall, it isn't too complex and didn't change that much. However, this can't be said about all the maps in this cup. Believe me. Now the next one we will talk about is Shroom Ridge, a map that was originally seen in Mario Kart DS, and this one can be really challenging. And it has also changed a lot because it hasn't been seen in a Mario Kart game in a long time. Not even the mobile version added it. Now the graphics have been updated, there's now fog over the woodland below, a lake was added in the background, and the vehicles have been replaced by the ones found in another map, Toad's Turnpike from the N64. That's also why so many people feel like it's a daytime version of that map. Well, that was the first thing that I thought of, at least. However, even more changed, and some of these things are good, and others are meh. The vehicles now all move in the same direction, the signpost over the finish line now has the modern Mario Kart logo, guardrails have been added in certain spots along the final stretch of the track, and Yoshis and Toads appear as spectators on this course. Clearly the track got an upgrade, and also got slightly easier, but not too much. Unlike Coconut Mall, which is an absolute breeze now. Heck, in this one they even added more difficulty in some ways. To be more specific, they added 2 brand new shortcuts that weren't in the original. In the first, a glide ramp was added and a large patch of grass before the tunnel. However, you can only use it if you have a mushroom. And for the second, there's a fan that blows out wind over the edge of the S-turn, which allows you to skip that section if you have a mushroom. Now, using and taking these requires good timing, fast reaction speed, and driving skill. So in a lot of ways, the map also got harder. Now personally, I love what they have done with this one. In so many ways, it was improved, which me and my friends just love. At the end of the day, it makes a map like this more replayable because you can improve every time you race on it, which can't be said about all the DLC maps in my opinion. Now for the next one we will be looking at Sky Garden, a map that was first seen in Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance, and later on in Tour as well. This one also changed a lot because it isn't based on the version seen on the Game Boy, but actually the one seen in Tour. Heck, nearly a month after its inclusion in Mario Kart Tour, it was put in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now one of the biggest changes compared to the first version is that all of a sudden it's in 3D, while that wasn't the case on the Game Boy. Back then, handheld consoles just weren't powerful enough and almost everything was in 2D. However, they used a cool little visual trick back then to make it feel like 3D, even though it wasn't, and it was known as Mode 7, which is one of the 7 graphics modes of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, also known as the SNES. This graphics mode allows backgrounds, but not sprites, to be scaled and rotated, eliminating the need for separate backgrounds for each frame of rotation. However, the mode is most famous for Nintendo's signature pseudo 3D effect, which was used in many games like the early Mario Kart titles. The SNES's hardware, or the one of the Game Boy, could manipulate an input background image in such a way that the game appeared to be 3D, even though the effect was actually 2D in nature. To be honest, all this stuff is quite mind-blowing, and it was crazy that they were able to do this back then. However, now, in this new version seen in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they don't have to use such tricks, and so the map became 3D. However, aside from that, not a whole lot changed. The ideas behind this map are still in place. You know, there are some jumps, item boxes, coins, and of course some gliding was added, which is new. However, aside from that, it's still the same in so many ways. Well, except for the Koopa Paratroopa audience. They were never seen in the Game Boy version, and like many other retro tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the music has been redone with live instruments, featuring a saxophone, piano, and electric guitar lead, instead of the original song synths. It is quite basic, doesn't have any cool twists, and is also visually boring. In my opinion, there are other maps in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that are similar and a lot more fun. For example, Cloud Top Cruise. That one at least has stuff like air balloon things you can jump off and a couple of different sections like the airship. So I'm a bigger fan of a map like that than this one. Now let's move on to our last map, Ninja Hideaway, a track that was taken from Mario Kart Tour. The track's design is mostly identical to its appearance in Mario Kart Tour, although it is upscaled and has updated visuals now. And of course has shamisen and shakuhachi added to its intro theme, similar to Dragon Driftway. Those are instruments, by the way, and sorry if I mispronounced them. We Western people have probably never seen them before or even heard of them, including me! However, that wasn't the only thing that changed, because while it is very similar to Mario Kart Tour, some small things were changed in the end. For example, the trickable slanted wood surface that appeared in Tour right before the Shuriken rooms has been removed. And depending on the item setting in play, the Shy Guy ninjas may be replaced with items other than bananas or no items at all. And last but not least, they added an audience composed of Toads and Shy Guys, something we have seen in almost every map. It is very clear that Nintendo is a big fan of adding an audience of sorts to any of their maps. Now clearly, this one hasn't changed too much compared to what we saw in Mario Kart Tour, which is logical. There wasn't much they had to change after all. Now personally, I like this Mario Kart Tour the most because of its looks. It reminds me a lot of Bowser's Kingdom from Super Mario Odyssey. Aside from that, it also has so many different routes and shortcuts that you can replay this one many times and you will still find new stuff. However, those were all the maps we saw in the second cup of the first round of DLC, and clearly some of them changed a lot. And don't forget, if you want to see the other comparison video, be sure to click in the upper right corner, or just click the link in the pinned comment below. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell button, like, and tell me in the comments what you thought about the video, and check out the other one I made, yay. I love you, bye, kisses from Wily, mwah.